Hi there, I'm Bret Hudson, a software and web developer currently living in Seattle who makes indie games in his free time. Welcome to my first monthly recap. While I'm not much for New Year's resolutions, I have been wanting to start doing monthly recaps for quite some time, and finally felt motivated enough to get started. Major props to Ashley Gwinnell, who publishes games and videos under the studio Force of Habit, whose devlogs were my primary inspiration for starting a habit of my own. Links to his channel are in the description below. January saw me hopping between a handful of my projects, some of which I haven't touched since 2019. But before we talk about that, let's take a trip back to November. In November 2020, the PlayStation 5 released, and as a lucky day one owner, I slowly saw myself getting back into playing games in my free time. Of those, I've primarily been playing the remakes of the Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot trilogies. Throughout December, I worked my way through the first game in the Crash Bandicoot series alongside the first Spyro. Seeing the two games' drastically different approaches to level design, and also playing Spyro for the first time since I became a game developer, allowed me to critically think about how they each approached pacing, difficulty, linearity, and enemy and hazard design.
Oh, shit.
Surely enough, this all got my creative juices flowing, prompting me to work on a prototype for a platformer game during my December 30th Twitch stream. For those that don't know, I stream game development on Wednesday evenings at 9 p.m. Pacific time, and I'm slowly trying to get myself into a habit of streaming other types of programming and creative work on Monday and Friday mornings as well. Since I started streaming almost a year ago, the process has helped me stay productive and keeps me accountable for making progress on my games. The prototype was supposed to be for working on some level design ideas that had been bouncing around in my head, but unfortunately, I ended up spending most of the evening working on the engine I was building for it rather than the game. What a typical programmer. On New Year's, I had a chill celebration with my flatmate, Alan Webster. I really enjoy living with Alan. The two of us spend a considerable amount of time cooking, watching interesting and funny YouTube videos, sharing knowledge, and overall having a great time laughing and making jokes with each other. He's rad, so you should follow him on Twitter. Alan remembers many of his streams, most notably the one that birthed the idea for 4Chess. In the stream, Alan was playing a variant of chess in which you could put up to 4 pieces of the same team in a single cell, and, so long as they share movements, you can move them as a squad. We started a prototype over Thanksgiving break, initially getting chess implemented in the browser, and then adding the defining change that makes 4Chess, well, 4Chess. On January 6th, I continued working on it for my first stream of the year, adding some much-needed mobile support. The following week, I unearthed another prototype that I was working on back in early 2019. At the time, I had been playing Super Mario Bros. 3 and was keen on trying to replicate the feel of Mario as well as explore its level design. Anyone noticing a bit of a pattern here? On stream, I refamiliarized myself with the codebase and added a few nice features to correct the player's movement. Unfortunately, I've been feeling slightly too ambitious this month, so it got sidelined shortly thereafter. The next week consisted of another Wednesday 4Chess development stream with Alan, as well as the first Friday morning stream I've done. I opened up the code for a platforming tips and tricks tutorial that I was also working on early 2019. Being back in that codebase reminded me of how much I've learned in the past 2 years, especially after tackling this past year's advent of code with a declarative programming approach. I've spent a few days now tinkering on with the code for the tutorial series, adding as much functional programming as I can, many times, to fantastic results. I am beyond eager to finish the tutorial up and release it to folks so more people can make good-feeling platformers. I also wouldn't mind a few compliments on my code, especially after getting good feedback on how clean and readable the 4Chess codebase is. Thanks again to the friend who said that. It curbed any remaining imposter syndrome I had left in me. Well, that brings us to the end of the month. I've been jumping around between projects a lot, and I'm working on a schedule to streamline the rest of my year. I have a tendency to pick up projects left and right, and then drop them just as fast, so a huge goal I've been working towards is to be conscious of that tendency and work with it. Against it? Two sides of every coin, I suppose. Regardless, the platforming tips and tricks tutorial is what I think I'm going to tackle in February. Thank you so much for watching this first recap video. I hope to have you all join me again for next month's recap. If you'd like to follow me around the web, or see my website and works, my links are in the description below. In case you haven't heard this hot tip from other YouTubers, you can subscribe to get notifications about my latest videos. You can also like and comment to put a smile on my face. That's all for now. Bye!